Home again. The Stompers back at Arnold Field after a 2-game road trip. A win in Menlo Park and a loss last night in Alameda sets us up for a Thursday evening battle between the Stompers and the San Francisco Seagulls. Welcome into the Sonoma Index Tribune Press Box. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli. Birthday Eve for America here on July 3rd. And it's a team going in a couple different directions. The Stompers are surging a little bit. They've had a strong week. They keep on winning weeks. And San Francisco, it's a mulligan year for Mark Caviglia and company, 5-18. They find themselves 10.5 games out of first place. But if you're Sonoma, you have to get up for every single game like it's a playoff game. How do you do that against a team that you beat 14-0 last time out?
Yeah, they put up 14 on the Seagulls twice. You got to continue to do the small things right, continue to play good team ball, find the gaps, take good ABs, play solid defense. We know David Howard is going to give you a good performance off the bump, especially on his birthday, but just needs to be good team ball effort today.
Yeah, David Howard takes him out, as you mentioned. He has given up just 3 earned runs this season. All of them came against San Francisco. That was back on June 6th. He took the loss, the only San Francisco win over Sonoma. He gave up 4 runs over 3 1/3 inning. 3 of those runs were earned, but he hasn't given up an earned run since then, Roman.
Yeah, he's been great, just able to go in there and throw strikes. He's got a great changeup, a great slider, but most importantly, he throws strikes. He gets in the zone, gets his team in and out of the dugout, gets the bats back out, and just very reliable starter on the bump.
Yeah, Howard doesn't throw hard. The fastball around 80. The changeup and the slider can drop all the way below 70 miles an hour. So watch out for that, but a good command pitcher. Just 6 walks over 15 1/3 innings, averaging just about a strikeout an inning for Howard. He's matched up by Finn Whalen, who's given up 3 earned over 3 innings pitched against Sonoma. Again, the Stompers played a 3-game set with the Seagulls. That was all the way back in early June, one of the first CCL series of the season. And Roman, there was differential between those two teams by 11.5 runs on average. The Stompers lost 9-0 and then came back with 14-3 and 14-0 victories. You'd have to think this one will be a little bit closer than that.
Well, it certainly doesn't get much bigger of a gap there, especially this far into CCL play. Teams a little bit more balanced out. We've seen a couple good battles, though they've taken 2 losses in a row. The Seagulls have had some better showings here. They obviously didn't have great ones, and they had a tough couple of games against Santavanias down in the Bay. Just a great game from him, and that kind of shut down the offense that they brought to the plate Friday night back in that 3-game series. They need to come in to Arnold, try to get the bats going early and keep them going, because this is a Stompers team that we've seen be kind of inconsistent in terms of scoring.
Seems like just about everybody has a tough time when they go up against Nick Santavanias. That's just not a Seagulls problem. Sonoma 15-10, but a tough go last night. 1-run loss down in Alameda. You load up the bases in the 9th inning, but McCann Libby strikes out on a 3-2 pitch. So how do you get that bad taste out of your mouth and go attack today?
You got to go score early and often. That's what we saw throughout the 4-game win streak, is that they were scoring, with the exception of Tuesday's game at Menlo Park, scoring in 4, 5, 6 innings of the ball game. When you do that, you set yourself up for a good end, but you also just keep the momentum on your side. Yesterday, they don't score after the 2nd inning. That gave the Merchants 7 innings to take the momentum and hold it themselves versus, when you can score multiple times. Like we saw it against Walnut Creek when Paul Lazul hit that home run to right. That immediately grabbed all the momentum for the Stompers team. They weren't giving it back after that.
Yeah, but today you go up against a team 15-8, cellar dwellers of the CCL North and well back of 4th place, Menlo Park. One that jumps out to me, Rome, this is a stat that you found 25 times the Stompers have left the bases loaded. And honestly, like a double in those situations could be like +2 wins on the season. That number is so drastic.
Yeah, we've have it written down here, a lot of 1-run losses. 6 of the 10 Stomper losses by 1 run. You talk about a single each of those times with the bases loaded. That practically flips most of those from losses to wins. They need to continue to just find ways to score the run, get on base. They get on base at a great rate. That's not the issue. The issue is just leaving them there, and that's one of the trade-offs with playing small ball. We've talked about that all season long, but need to find ways to score guys, especially in scoring position.
Yeah, you talk about those one-run games. It's been the polar opposite for San Francisco. They've allowed 190 runs as a pitching staff. Guess how many times? We do stat guess for me, stat guess for you. They have, how many times do you think they've given up 10-plus runs in their 23 games?
I'm going to go 15.
9 times in 15.
That would be a lot. That was a hefty
23.
take. That was a hefty
This is why
take.
I do the stat guess, and you just come up with the stats. Goodness, they've given up double-digit runs 9 times. They are 1-8 though in those games. They got to win against the Philippines in comeback fashion while giving up 10 runs. And now let's turn to your stat guess for me, and then we'll wrap up with Roman's radar.
So I'll give you a hint here. There are 2 innings that this applies to. What inning, 1 through 9, have the Stompers scored the most in this season?
Oh, it's got to be the 2nd and the 5th, because they had a crooked number against Menlo Park, the first game of the doubleheader, and that was in the 5th. So I'm going to guess the 5th and the 2nd.
The 2nd and the 6th.
No!
You were so close.
It was a 7-inning game. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
24 runs in each of those innings. 48 runs in just 2 innings. Need to score early, score often. They've been great in the 2nd, but then in the 8th and 9th innings combined, just 14 this season. The offense, when it gets down late in the game, needs to have some clutch hits, generate some late inning offense, and get a couple more wins.
It's a good stat guess. Went deep with that one. And now let's turn to Roman's radar as we wrap up this Thursday edition of the Sonoma Stompers pregame show. We start with the home squad. Who are you looking out for in the lineup to try and help get one of those crooked numbers?
That's going to be Trent Keys today up in the 4 spot. We talked about it pregame, just the 2 of us. He's been an on-base machine. We know that. The average up to 211. We haven't seen that since about the 2nd week of the season. Been seeing the ball well, and this is a Seagulls team with not a ton of arms. Keys should be on base several times today.
Yeah, that's a good one. Trent Keys has reached in all 18 games that he's gotten an at-bat. How do you like that? And the OPS number for you guys that are like advanced stats, if you will, 887. That's the 2nd highest on the ball club. So Keys really swinging a hot bat of late. And now let's take a look behind enemy lines. There's a couple new names on this Seagulls squad. Who are you looking out for in our look behind enemy lines?
You know, we're going to go Mark Zhu. It's making his debut in the CCL today. We just want to see what happens. Comes out with a big one. Maybe sparks the Seagulls. They get a huge upset win over the Stompers, and we'll see what happens.
No such thing as an upset in the CCL, and it's baseball. Who knows what's going to happen? Well, you'll find out when we return for first pitch on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. On Independence Day Eve, the Stompers and the Seagulls do battle in a CCL North clash. The Stompers trying to stay in the hunt at the top of the North. Walnut Creek leads it. Alameda 1 game back. The Stompers find themselves a game and a half behind, and they'll send out the birthday boy, David Howard, to the bump. Happy 23rd to the 6'4", 225-pound lefty out of Newark, California. Pitched last season at Sonoma State, but here for the Stompers, 4 games, 3 starts, an 0-1 record, but a 1.76 earned run average. 12 consecutive innings without giving up an earned run. All of those earned runs came against this squad right here, the San Francisco Seagulls. And Mark Caviglia, who's the general manager, he's taken over the on-field managerial duties from Ryan Davis, who was let go on June 26th. So, organization in purgatory. The Seagulls look to get back to their winning ways from last season. 5-18, not a dream 2025 for them. This is the lineup they'll send out. The second baseman, Josh Hansen, he has D1 written all over him. USC last season. The Cal Bears coming up. He leads off. The shortstop, Jalen Hodges, hits second. The third baseman, Jake Brewer, hits third. The catcher, Carson Chavez, cleans it up. The left fielder, Mark Zub, that's Roman's guy to look out for in the 5 spot. The first baseman, Jackson Landry, hits 6. 7, 8, and 9 is the right fielder, Matt Galvin. The DH, Derek Waldvogel. And the center fielder, Ben Koch. That's the 9 that'll face David Howard with this defensive alignment behind him. Nick Sebastiani, Cam Hegeman, and Brady Shannon. That's left to right. Trevor Schlafer and Colton Boardman patrol the left side of the infield. McCann, Libby, and Trent Keys the right side.
Now batting, second base, number 8, Josh.
Stompers in the home white, Seagulls in the road blues. Howard stares in to get the sign. Rod Mattery, the home plate umpire, says play. And let's get rolling on a Thursday night in Sonoma. 6:14. The first pitch is thrown by Howard, and his first pitch as a 23-year-old misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. A pleasant 78 degrees here in Sonoma, as that one is in there to Hansen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hansen 0 for 2 on the season. This is just his 3rd game in his 2nd year with San Francisco. Howard misses up and outside. 81, that's the fastball from David. Last year for the Seagulls, 282, average of 410 on base, 6 doubles, a triple, and a home run. He hit in the leadoff position a lot. That was for a team managed by Dom Sebastiani. They're now on their 3rd manager in a year and a half. 3-1 is high, and Josh Hansen works a leadoff walk. Not a guy you want to let get aboard.
Now batting, shortstop, number 9, Jalen.
The righty,
Hodges.
Jalen Hodges, will be the next to bat. Hansen, the runner at first, started this summer playing in the West Coast League. He stole 1 base for Cowlitz, and Howard misses upstairs. David, as usual, sporting the high socks, working off the 3rd base side of the hill. He's a lefty. Pitched last season for the Seawolves. He comes home and misses again. And uncharacteristic command woes for Howard through just the first 7 pitches.
And we praised him in the pregame for his accuracy, his command, his ability to throw strikes. It hasn't been the case so far, but he's got to battle through the first and adjust it in the second.
Howard delivers. That's a called strike, 2-1. And when you don't have overpowering stuff on your fastball, command is what you've built your career on at this point. If you're Howard, shakes off the first sign he gets from Esteban Sepulveda, but likes the second one. And he'll check on first base. Scampering back is Hansen. Sonoma, a 9-6 record here at Arnold Field, riding a mini little 3-game home win streak. The 4-game win streak was snapped yesterday in Alameda, but that home win streak still alive. This one's bounced towards second, should be two. Libby to Boardman to Keys it to Swifty. Taylor made go the Stomper infield 4-6-3 on the double play.
That's a great job from Howard, battling through a little bit of just bad control, gets a ground ball, gets the defense to turn two. It's a middle infield that we've seen turn so many double plays. McKay and Libby and Colton Boardman have been nails all season long. They get a big one there.
They don't get any easier than that. 2 hops right to McKay and Libby. Hodges never a chance to beat it out. This one's sent towards center field. Hageman angles back, now comes in and makes the catch. It turns into just a 10-pitch first for David Howard. His defense gives him a birthday gift, and that's a double play. Nothing across for San Francisco with Sonoma coming up in the bottom half. Bottom of inning number 1, David Howard got a little help from his defense, turned a double play behind him, and now Finn Whalen is his Seagull counterpart today. 5'11", 180 pounds, 18-year-old. There's a 5-year age difference between the two starters today. Both of them, though, did play at Sonoma State University last season. Howard got a little bit of run. This guy, Finn Whalen, didn't. 7 games, all of them out of a bullpen. He's 1-1 with a 6.53 earned run average. And he faces Colton Boardman to start things off in the home first. And beg your pardon, that's Hageman, and he lines it into right field, a base hit. So Cam Hageman immediately moved into the leadoff spot, and it pays off on just 1 pitch. And I'm just so used to Colton being there. There's a new guy, and he immediately produces.
And our key all season long has been leadoff guy. See some pitches, give a battle, then find a way on base. Cam Hageman just going to do it the other great way and hit the first pitch you see softly into right field, get on immediately, and a guy we've seen run frequently this season.
Yeah, Hageman 2 for 3 on stolen bases. Leads off first. Sebastiani takes inside 1-0. Sebastiani, the left fielder, and then Colton Boardman. I was too excited to get my Colton at bat. He's on deck. Jackson Landry, the first baseman, holds on Hageman, and he dives back to the bag.
And Hageman slipped a little trying to get back there. It's not the first time we've seen that, but not a great sign.
The oven mitt is on the left hand of Hageman. That's when he goes back to the base with, and that one hits Sebastiani. That's number 77 for the Sonoma Stompers this season. And they continue to be the team that's hit the most, and it's not even close. And that's number 9 for Nick.
And I mean, the Stompers could probably not get hit another time through the last, what do we have, 18 games left, and they would probably still take home the CCL hit-by-pitch title. It's not even close. It's just
easily.
It's a joke. It doesn't even make sense.
San Francisco has been hit the second most times, 37. 2 on, no out. The Stompers looking to jump on the Seagulls early. Boardman pulls a bunt back and takes a called strike 1, 80 miles an hour from Wayland, who now works out of a stretch. Boardman a lefty and Wayland is a righty. The pitch is bounced to second. Hansen ranges over, his only plays to first. So Boardman does what a bunt would have done. It's moved the runners to second and third. Hegeman and Sebastiani take a base each. That goes for 3. And Trent Keys, who's been on base all 18 games this season he's played, digs in. And he's really swinging it. The average was below 100 for a majority of the season. It's up to 211 after his last week, and he has an 887 on base plus slugging percentage. In on the grass at first is Landry. The lefty Keys hits a ground ball to third. The play is to first base, and it's a run for Sonoma. In on the hands, sort of a half-hearted swing from Keys, but it's good for his 5th RBI of the season. The putout goes 5-3, and the lead is 1-0 Sonoma.
And that's a great job. Trent Keys able to score him. Obviously, you want a hit there, but what we're seeing from Sonoma so far is an aggressive approach. With only 7 or 8 pitches seen, and they've already gotten 2 outs but scored a run.
Libby swings and bounces it right at Dave Hoke in the third base coaching box. Jacoby Heyer back with the team. He regains his duties as the first base coach, and he's maybe the only Stomper that was happy with last night's loss because he wasn't getting that first base coaching box position back from Kenny Meimersdorf if the win streak had reached 5. The 0-1 to Libby. Grounded to shortstop. Hodges fields, and it's going to kick off his body. That's a hop that just ate up Jalen Hodges. Sebastiani walks home from third. Libby reaches on an E6, so no RBI for McCann, but it all counts the same in the runs column. Sonoma's taken a 2-0 lead.
And we talked about it in the pregame. Got to find ways to score the runners. That one with 2 outs, you were kind of given it by Jalen Hodges, but nonetheless, you put the ball in play. Good things are going to happen. Make the other team beat you. That's what the Sonoma Stompers are doing right now, and it's not paying off. Or it is paying off, but not for the Seagulls.
Lazul takes outside corner, called strike with a slider, and the Stomper hitters now know the adjustment. The zone was low yesterday from Ricardo Rodriguez. The zone will be outside today from Rod Mattery. That one missed too far off the corner, and the count's 1-1.
And there's a lot of space in left center field. Zoo and Koch playing very far apart.
Koch 3 to 4 steps over towards right. The pitch to Lazul is sent right at him. Very nice defensive positioning. Now he drifts over as it catches a gust of wind and ends up in his glove. But the Stompers get 2 runs on just 1 hit and leave McCann Libby aboard. We head to the second. Sonoma 2, San Francisco 0 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Back to baseball as Sepulveda throws down to second to end the Stomper defensive warm-up in the top of inning number 2. And David Howard takes the mound now with a 2-0 cushion, and that's the best birthday gift he could have asked for, and I don't know how many more of those you're going to give me today.
Well, in the first inning, he walked the leadoff, didn't look like a good start, but then proceeded to get out of the inning with just 10 pitches. I can't say how many times I've ever seen that happen.
The pitch is outside. Well, he got 3 outs on 2 pitches. It was a double play and then a first pitch swing pop-up, and that was after 6 of his first 7 pitches missed the zone. An impressive bounce back from Howard, who starts behind 1-0 to the cleanup man, who lines it through the left side base hit. Carson Chavez picks up a single, pulled it through the 6-hole past Boardman. No one had a play, and that brings up Mark Zoo for his first at-bat in a San Francisco Seagull uniform. And these are 2 guys that both played at San Francisco City College over the past few seasons. Zoo swings and fouls it the opposite way. Howard played 2 years at SFCC before transferring to Sonoma State. Mark Zoo just wrapped up his 2 years for the Rams. Had a nice year last year, 348 average, 4 home runs, 46 driven in. He takes at the knees for a called strike on a fastball, 0-2.
A nice piece of catching there from Sepulveda to pull that one up, something we saw frequently last night against the Merchants.
Runner at first, that's Chavez. From the stretch is Howard, and he'll come home with it. And Zoo, an emergency 0-2 hack, fouls it back to the screen. Zoo even stance, ever so slightly open from the right side. Carson Chavez has 2 stolen bases. He doesn't run here. And Zoo grounds it back up the middle. This one could be 2 as well. And Boardman tried a glove flip, and they're not going to get anybody. That's a mental mistake we haven't seen this season from Colton Boardman. Tried to get flashy and glove flip it to McCann Libby. Absolutely no need for that. He could have taken it to the bag himself and had an easy double play.
And I think that's what McCann Libby thought he was doing when he didn't see the transfer being made. Libby went to back up in case the ball got through Boardman, and just not an ideal play there.
So now Howard has to induce what should be a 3rd double play ball of the game, and that's one where Zach Pace has to just have his head in his hands. What was going through Boardman's mind on that one? 0-1 pitch, outside, 1-1. And now Jackson Landry, a powerful right-handed hitter, has 0 RBIs in his first 49 at-bats, but he's set up nicely to get his first one. The 1-1, Landry hits it foul back to the screen, just threw his bat head at it at the last second, and it caught a piece.
Way off of that one there. Howard is pitching well. He had a slow start, like we mentioned, couldn't find the zone, but since then he's been in it. Just an unfortunate defensive play there.
One-two coming, Howard to Landry, and that's a slider that misses up and outside the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you can sort of see the thought process there because Boardman's going to the glove side. The glove flip was just not very close to McCann Libby, and I agree with McCann Libby. It wasn't really the right decision there. Landry grounds it foul up the first base line past Mark Caviglia, who's the first base coach, and Harvey Maxey, who's the first base umpire. Paul Remedios is helping on the left side.
Yeah, and it's going back to the double play, the not double play. It's tough because Boardman's probably just out of range to take it himself, but the way he fielded it and was moving towards second base, it looked like to McCann Libby that he was going to take it himself, so just a tough mix-up.
2-2. Inside and low, 3-2. Another slider.
And a great AB being put together by Jackson Landry.
Yeah, Howard, a 3-pitch mix. It's a fastball, it's a changeup, and it's a slider. Those are his words from talking to him before this one started. The lefty has to work out of a little bit of trouble, and that one sent the other way down the line. A long run for Shannon, still chasing over, and it will land foul. Just a fly ball that kept on slicing away from Shannon and almost went up and over the right field wall, but well into foul territory. And we'll now see an 8th pitch between David Howard and Jackson Landry. One more wide one would load the bases with nobody out. The payoff, Howard checks the runner at second, delivers home, and it's lined foul back to the screen. Landry just a 143 hitter this season, a double, a triple, but no RBIs as he digs in for what would be his 50th at-bat of the season. Barring a walk or a hit by pitch here. A bunt, but you don't think that's coming on 3-2. Left on right, Howard comes home, and Landry lines it foul the other line this time. And that means it'll be 10 pitches this at-bat. It was 10 pitches in all of the first inning.
And Howard, a guy who pitches to contact, gets ground balls, gets weak contact. He's got the hitters all over the place to start this one, but when the defense makes an error, that defeats his entire purpose, and it makes his job really tough.
He shakes off Sepulveda. Kicks and deals. Landry takes low ball 4. So single error walk, bases loaded, nobody out.
Now batting, right fielder number 26, Mac Galvin.
That brings up Skagit Valley right fielder Mac Galvin. Another guy under the Mendoza line, just a $156. But on base percentage 200 points higher, 356. That's average for the CCL, I would guess. That one misses low. First pitch fastball. Split the plate, but a couple baseballs below the knees of the righty Mac Galvin. Chavez from third, Zoo from second, Landry from first. That one finds the outside corner, called strike. Derek Waldvogel on deck. One coming with the bases loaded. That one sent towards right center. It's going to be Brady Shannon with the beat on it. He makes the catch. That quarterback arm fires to third base, and a great throw. Holds the runners at first and second. So it's a sac fly for Galvin. And you can tell that Brady Shannon's a quarterback when he doesn't play baseball. That was a missile out of his right arm. And a throw that I really like from Brady Shannon to hold those runners at first and second, because that throw comes home. You probably tag up to second and third. The double plays out of order. He's already gotten ground balls. Either way, it's the 4th RBI for Galvin. Chavez comes in to score, and Derek Waldvogel fouls the first pitch off, 0-1.
And it was either a really, really convincing fake take off from second to third from Zoo, or he slammed on the brakes hard. He got about 3 steps off, saw the trajectory of that ball, and shut it down. That's a great throw from Shannon to not prevent a runner going to third.
A beautiful slider drops in, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. Strikeout would be nice. You have to hold it here at just a run. Don't let the Seagulls tie it. No shutdown inning for Howard. He comes home. Struck him out swinging. Takes 3 pitches to get Waldvogel, the first strikeout of the game, the 16th of the season.
And a good job from Howard there when the defense, with a ground ball pitcher, when the defense can't get you your outs on ground balls, you have to become something that you're not, in a strikeout guy to get out of jams. He wasn't able to get one earlier in the at-bat with Jackson Landry, but he gets a big one there from Waldvogel.
Ks for 9 sit just around 9 for the lefty Howard, who delivers to Ben Koch, called strike 1. Koch having a mighty tough go of it in the first half of the CCL campaign, 5 for 40. Just one of those has gone for extra bases. Left on left against Howard. The pitch is outside. Sepulveda, a nice play to the glove side. He picked it like a first baseman. Counts a ball and a strike.
And Koch, informally named our beer batter of the year last time he came up to Arnold, had a 4 strikeout game before the 7th inning.
1-1. is lined into right field, and that's going to tie the ball game. Escalara sends the runner. Hegeman's throw goes to the cutoff man, Boardman, and it's the 5th RBI of the season for Koch, just the 6th hit, and it's a 2-2 ball game. Scoring from second is Zoo. First to third goes Landry, and that brings up Josh Hansen, who walked back in inning number 1. The pitch from Howard, swing and a miss. Hard to differentiate between the slider and the changeup from Howard. The changeup almost looks like a curveball, coming in under 70 miles an hour. The runner at first is Koch. He doesn't run, and it's fouled back, 0-2. Hansen 0 for 2 with 4 walks. He's now playing in his 3rd game with the Seagulls. Runner at third base is Landry. The runner Koch from first goes. Sepulveda's going to throw down to second, and it's a swiped base for Koch, his 9th of the season. He has 9 stolen bases on now just 6 hits.
That's the 10 walks that do it for him. He just finds ways on base and does some damage with them.
Now if Hansen can get his first Seagull hit, that could mean a couple of runs. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Deuce is wild, top of the 2nd inning. Howard pitches and strikes him out swinging. But it's 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 left. A whole new ball game as we head to the last of the 2nd, all knotted at 2. top, or bottom, beg your pardon, of the second inning. And if you've been a devout Stomper listener to the road games the past 2 days, you know about Brady Shannon's bat, which stays on his shoulder, and he takes a called strike one. We have had lots of discussion about the color of his bat. I guessed pink and aqua. Our wonderful director of marketing and media said it's salmon and sage, and that salmon and sage bat cranks one deep to left field, but it will be the left fielder making the catch on the warning track. Brady Shannon thought he got all of that one, but it lands just a couple feet short of the wall.
And Zoo had his back on the wall there. He made the catch about shoulder high. There's a chance it had the distance for it, but a nice play from Mark Zoo, and the salmon and sage nearly sent it out.
302 feet. The wall there is just about 310. First pitch to Sepulveda, called strike.
It might have gone as far up as it did. Ow, that was a moonshot.
I think Shannon thought he got it.
It sounded pure. It looked great off the barrel, but just didn't quite have the legs.
0-1. Sepulveda bounces up the middle. Hodges ranges to the glove side. Behind second. One motion. Throws to first. Nice play.
Yeah, nice play from Hodges there. We saw him make an error on a ball hit right at him, but ranging 20 feet to his left on the run, able to make a nice play there.
That brings up the 9-hitter Trevor Schlafer, trying to make this not a very quick inning. Brady and Espon see just 2 pitches apiece. That one called strike. Found the knees. And Whalen now pitching in a 2-2 ball game has gotten ahead of all 3 hitters. 0-1. Schlafer swings and grounds it to Hodges on the backhand this time. Long throw to first is made. So Jalen Hodges to his right, Jalen Hodges to his left. It doesn't matter. He'll make the play. The Stompers go 1-2-3 on just 6 pitches. Third inning next. Tie ball game on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. To the third inning we go. It'll be Jalen Hodges to lead it off after he made 2 nice defensive plays in the bottom of last inning. He ranged up the middle and made a play, and then he ranged to the backhand side and made a play. He takes a first pitch fastball that's a called strike.
And if he's following the trend we saw in the bottom of the second, he's going to put this one in play.
0-1 is put in play to third. Schlafer, a nice pick, and his throw across the diamond is on the money. So that's 4 consecutive hitters that have taken a first pitch strike and then hit a ball in play. All have resulted in outs.
And that's
pitcher's dream.
Exactly, and that's a nice one from Trevor Schlafer. Hit hard at him, and a lot of times on the hot corner, you get a ball like that, you tend to let it speed you up, but he did a nice job gathering himself, making a nice couple shuffles, and then a nice accurate throw to Trent Keys.
Lots of room up the middle now, and the righty Jake Brewer takes, you guessed it, a called strike 1. Boardman is a step into the hole towards third, and that one misses outside. Libby seems one step in the hole as well. One. Foul. Back in the counts 1-2.
And a lot of space up the middle for one of the best bats in the lineup. There were 26 hits entering the ball game.
The pitch struck him out swinging. Sepulveda will throw it around the diamond. It's the third strikeout for Howard. Brings up Carson Chavez, who singled and scored back in the second.
Now batting, catcher, number 30, Carson Chavez.
David Howard entered today's game, 15 and a third innings pitched, 15 Ks. It's pretty much one an inning. He's got one an inning so far.
Pitch, swinging and a miss, 0-1. That's that changeup that sort of just drops in there and ends up well below the zone. Howard's been ahead of the last 3 hitters. This one's popped up out of play. David Howard all of a sudden about to deliver his 50th pitch. Feels like that number got up quickly, and it's a strikeout. So a couple strikeouts in the inning. Howard looked sharp through 3. We head to the bottom of the third, 2-2 between the Stomps and the Gulls on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Cam Hageman, the Stomper leadoff man, leads off the third. And first one's in there to Hageman, a called strike. Stompers got 2 in the first, Seagulls got 2 in the second, and that's the score here in the third. The pitch, Hageman checks his swing, and it's a called swing. 0-2. The only thing that I picked up on Hageman so far is it seems a little bit like he decides whether or not he's going to swing before the pitch comes, and then just that's the decision. He went chasing a couple times yesterday in Alameda.
An aggressive bat at the top of the lineup, but he's been great in his short stint with the Stomps.
0-2. Hageman throws his bat head at the baseball, and it's fouled off over Nick Sebastiani in the on-deck circle. Hegeman singled and scored in the first inning, driven in on a Trent Keys ground ball. Oh-2 pitch. Hegeman lines it into right field. That's his second consecutive opposite field single.
Now batting, left fielder number 6.
And that's one way to stay at the top of the lineup. A great one to start the first inning. He scored a run there. Now another leadoff single. Great and productive at the top.
Nick Sebastiani was hit by a pitch in the first. That one kicks away from the catcher Chavez, but Hegeman didn't pick it up quick enough. He heads back to first base. Sebastiani rides a 4-game hit streak into today, and the average has climbed all the way to 289. A real tough start to the season. Nick Sebastiani's kicked it into gear in the second half. It's exactly the story we saw last year, and that turned into an all-CCL North campaign for the left fielder. At this point, it could be another all-CCL North campaign if he keeps swinging it the way he has this past week. He takes high, and the count's 2 balls and no strikes to Nick.
And what I've noticed over the Sebastiani hot streak is just the plate discipline has been really sharp. There have been a lot of pitches on really any edge that he's just watched go by.
He swings at this one and fouls it off home plate. The count will be 2-1. Hegeman, we didn't see him run in the first inning. He's 2 for 3 on swipes so far.
Hey kids, if you want to be in the Bean Boozle Challenge, meet me behind home plate right now.
Two balls and 1 strike. Hegeman, a short leadoff first held by Landry. Whalen pitches with a slide step and fools Sebastiani on a slider that counts 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Whalen another slide step. Sebastiani grounds it just foul down the third base line. A couple inches back towards the field of play, and that would have been a 5-game hit streak. Another 2-2 from Whalen to Sebastiani, and it's a called strike 3. First one for Whalen, 14th of the year.
And that's a nice pitch on the outside corner. Trackman system has it missing a little bit out, but we've seen that called 4 or 5 times already in this one. A pitch Sebastiani probably needs to battle off and even just take to right field. It's barrel side, drivable pitch.
A check on Hegeman. He's back to the bag without a dive. He lunged back towards first base, and Landry applied the tag a little closer than probably Zach Pace would have liked. The pitch to Boardman is low. The Seagulls' left side of the infield is in a shift. The right side of the infield stays the same. The third baseman, that's Brewer, is couple of steps off his usual position. The pitch to Boardman's bounce to first right at Landry. They go to second for 1. A low throw. The return is in time to get Boardman. And it goes 3-6-3. And the twin killing returned on the other end. We return for the 4th, and Roman Raffelli takes over on play-by-play in a tie ball game at 2.
All right.
The first pitch of the inning is swung on and missed by Mark Zhu. Howard out for his 4th inning of work. 2 runs given up through 3, just 1 of them earned. This one's fouled off twice by Zhu. He hit it on the front end and then in the backswing. Not something you see very often, but of course that doesn't really mean anything. He's behind quickly 0-2. Southpaw winds, delivers, outside corner, not called. Strike 3 off the outside edge.
Yeah, as we talked about with Howard pitching on his birthday, there's been 3 real memorable MLB pitching performances on birthdays.
A swing and miss there. Zhu goes down in 4.
Max Scherzer went 7 shutout innings on his 38th birthday. Randy Johnson had 14 strikeouts on his 37th birthday, and Garrett Cole just a couple years ago had a 15 strikeout performance against Seattle. That's the day he turned 29.
This one chopped to the left side. Schlafer waits, Fields throws, and the tag applied by Trent Keys. We've seen him do that several times this season. Nice adjustment there in the play made. And something tells me we're not going to see 15-plus Ks from Howard, but he's got 5 through 3 2/3, and he had 3 in a row up until that Landry ground out.
I think with the pitch count of 54, he'll take those 2 pitch groundouts over a K.
That one misses outside to Mac Galvin. He's got 16 Ks coming into today's ball game, but he flew out to right field and scored a run there, or got an RBI, excuse me. That one called a strike. Evens the count 1-1. A job well done in the second. He flew out to right, scored Carson Chavez. Hits this one on a rope foul left. And Howard looking for the quickest inning of the evening so far. Now ahead 1-2 in what's felt like about 3 minutes. Winds, delivers. It's hit softly to Libby, who fields, glove tosses in time to Trent Keys. A nifty flash of the leather there by McCann Libby. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, knotted at 2. Trent Keys leads off the bottom of the 4th. The Stompers knotted with the Seagulls, 2 runs apiece. They've also got an error apiece and 2 hits each side. First pitch to Trent Keys is fouled back. Keys grounded out to 3rd. His first time up, but that scored Cam Hageman. Keys, as Kieran mentioned earlier, reached base in every game he got an at-bat this season so far. Hits this one high, but foul over the third base dugout. Now behind 0-2. Pitch from Whalen, fouled back to the net. We'll do 0-2 again. Finn Whalen Allowed 2 in the first, but since then has got a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings. We'll have Keys, Lazul, and Libby due up. The 0-2 hits softly into left field. Zoo ranges over and makes the catch. 1 gone in the 4th.
Now batting, second baseman number 49.
Brings up McCann.
Libby.
Libby, 17 hits on the year, 14 RBI, and 12 walks. He would have had his 15th RBI, but the error from Hodges doesn't give it to him. Libby out of Frisco, Texas, Lone Star High School. Takes first pitch strike on the outside corner.
It's a nice changeup, sort of just sat on the outer third, but nothing you can do with that if you're Libby.
The 0-1 just a bit lower than the first pitch. It misses the zone. So it's 1-1. Libby struck out to end last night's ball game. 1-1 misses in. Now 2-1. It's right on right. Pitch crosses the plate, middle high, but it's on the top third. A nice pitch. Look like another changeup now. 2-2. This one hit high and deep to center field. Going back is Koch at the wall, and it bounces off and back into center field behind Koch. Libby's going to round second and digs for 3. The throw not in time. A one-out triple from McCann Libby.
Yeah, that one's got to feel good if you're McCann. You make the last out of the ball game last night with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 1-run game. An 0-for-5 day. Got all of that one and winds up with his first triple of the season and is now in that exclusive Stomper club of a double, a triple, and a home run this year.
That ball went 367 feet and 8 inches, right at the 370 sign. He nearly got all of it, but it brings up Paul Lazul. 90 feet away is the lead run.
Now this is a big at-bat for Lazul. The coaching staff really liked his situational approach over the last 2 weeks, looking to break out of what's a mini 0-for-8.
He's ahead 1-0. Now ahead 2-0 in the driver's seat. Runner in scoring position. We talked about it earlier. These are the ones the Stompers have got to have down the stretch. Now ahead 3-0, and Finn Whalen had gotten into a groove, but McCann Libby seemed to have pushed him out of it. Behind 3-0 to Lazul. Pitch. Late call, but called a strike. So it's 3-1. Whalen the righty, Lazul the lefty. Lifts the leg, delivers, misses outside. It's a 5-pitch walk to put runners on the corners.
Now batting, right fielder number 37.
The first walk from Whalen brings up Brady Shannon, who hit a rocket in the second inning. Ball that went 143 feet in the air and nearly went over the wall and left. First pitch hit on a rope to left, but foul. It's 0-1 to Shannon. Sporting the Sage and Salmon bat. 0-1, outside corner, called strike 2. And a nice bounce back here from Finn Whalen. No movement in the Seagull bullpen. Libby off third, Lazul off first, and it's a backwards K for Brady Shannon.
Yeah, just couldn't get the bat off his shoulder there. Back-to-back pitches, same spot, paints the corner of the outside edge, and there's some frustration from Shannon. That one a 0 for 9.
So it brings up the catcher Esteban Sepulveda. A 159 average on the year. 7 hits, 9 RBI. First pitch to him, fouled back, was off speed in on the hands, and he was well ahead of it. Libby off third base, he tripled. Lazul off first, he walked. Those sandwiched by a pair of outs from Trent Keys and Brady Shannon. This one inside to Sepulveda, evens the count at 1-1. Thanks for joining us here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Rome Winterfelli and Kieran Costa right now. You can catch Devin Laginto with Kieran Costa. That's the 7th inning. Third pitch to Sepulveda, fouled back. Behind 1-2 now, and a great day at the ballpark tomorrow, of course, the 4th of July. We expect a packed Arnold Field and hopefully a packed broadcast here on the Broadcast Network. The Stompers welcome the Novato Knicks. 1-2, hit softly up the middle, but Hansen able to make the catch. The Stompers leave 2 on after a 1-out triple. We'll head to the 5th, tied 2-2 between the Seagulls and the Stompers. The evening is over for David Howard. He gives way to Cal Amborn, who's making his Sonoma Stomper debut, and Kieran Costa has more on him after we close the book on Howard. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 2, didn't hit a batter, and struck out 5.
Amborn, 6'4", 190-pound right-hander making his Stomper debut. He's from Larkspur, California, played at Archie Williams, that's in San Anselmo. In his last 2 seasons at USF, he's made 37 appearances, 36 of those out of the bullpen, to a tune of a 6.92 earned run average for the Dongs.
A nice piece of reinforcement to the Stomper bullpen after we've seen some injuries lately that have depleted the ranks a bit. Amborn, the righty, works from the first base side of the rubber. First pitch swung on and cut foul from Derek Waldvogel, who struck out in the second.
At 90 miles an hour, the first one from Amborn. Maybe comes out with a little juice.
The tall righty delivers another fastball, this one at 88, in for a strike. That one cut on and missed, so it's 0-2.
Couple lopsided scorelines on the out-of-town scoreboard. Guys, the Stompers need to be losing, are not losing. The Merchants lead the Legends 6-2 in the third, and the Blues going for a 3-game sweep of the Arroyo Seco Saints, lead 7-0 in the third.
Yeah, the Blues getting in stride when it matters most here. The 0-2 from Amborn, fouled back again.
That's what they do, a lot of latecomers. That's how the Blues build their team, and guys show up and they start winning.
And they caught a case of the early season Blues, but got it rolling down the stretch. The 0-2 nearly hit him inside with an off-speed. Misses high, another fastball there. And a nice leadoff AB against the new arm from Waldvogel here. Seeing some pitches, battling off, making him throw the off-speed a bit too. Cut on and missed. He won't reach base. Strike 3.
Yeah, that's now 8 consecutive put down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those have been strikeouts. That's if you combine Howard and Amborn now over the past 2 2/3.
And it was a tough second for Howard. The difference in this game so far was an error by Colton Boardman. What could have been a double play to likely get him out in 3 turned into a 6-batter, 2-run effort from the Seagulls. Amborn behind 1-0. This one hit hard through the right side. It's between Libby and Keys for a 1-out single.
At bottom of the order, Ben Koch entered play 5 for 40, and now he's 7 for 42, a couple of knocks.
That one scorched off the bat, 92 through the right side. It rolls the order over to the top. Josh Hansen, who's 0 for 1 with a walk today, entered the ball game with 3 walks, but 0 for 2. Now 4 walks, still hitless. First pitch, not squeezed, but called on the outside corner. Koch leads off first. Amborn lifts, delivers, and the bat goes flying into left field, but he didn't make any contact. It's 0-2.
You have to toss him the pine tar, because that's an optics play, putting the pine tar on the bat, because you got fooled by the pitch. You went chasing a slider, but it was hands were a little sticky. Weren't sticky enough. Put a little pine tar on there. He'll get the next one.
A lathered up piece of lumber now in the hands of Josh Hansen. He's behind 0-2. Runner goes, that's Koch. The pitch misses outside and gets past Sepulveda. Now runner in scoring position, 1 out for the Seagulls.
9th steal now for Koch.
Nice, stolen a base and singled both trips so far in this one. 9-hole proving pesky here at Arnold.
You're putting that's the 10th now, because he had one in the second.
That one fouled back from Hansen. Haven't seen a lot of swing and miss from Amborn so far, but he's filling up the zone. Looking for a clean first in his Stomper debut. Comes set, takes a look back, delivers. It's hit hard, foul down the first base line.
Adding the count 1-2. Maybe you try and expand the zone a little bit coax a swing and miss out of Hansen.
A tall righty, Amborn comes set, delivers, and it's hit high and deep to left. Going back is Sebastiani at the wall, and he hits it, and it's gone. A 2-run shot from Josh Hansen doubles the run total for the Gulls. It's 4-2 in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and that matches his home run total from last season with San Francisco. It took him 85 at-bats to get 1 home run. He does it here in just his 4th of the season. And the Stompers, for the 2nd consecutive day, are going to have to do it come from behind fashion if they do it at all.
Brings up Jalen Hodges, 11 hits himself this season. He cuts on and tips it into the glove of Sepulveda. He's behind 0-1. This one fouled back over the first base dugout. Now 0-2. Amborn has gotten ahead and thrown strikes, but 2 of them just served into play. That one over the left field wall from Hansen.
Yeah, that one seemed to just keep on going and going. Got short porched, only 316.
0-2 bounces to Sepulveda, 1-2 the count. And a nice piece there, found a barrel and just went into left. The 1-2 yanked into the left-handed batter's box. Amborn started strong, got a strikeout of Waldvogel, but since has been a little bit rattled.
And you said it, he needs to find a swing and miss pitch.
This one just under the glove of Amborn. Libby ranges, throws in time to get it to Keys. The 3rd ground ball from Hodges this evening. And still no swing and miss from Amborn. Brings up Jake Brewer, the Seagull lifer. Had his 15th strikeout of the season in the 3rd. He flew out in the 1st. Top of the 5th, the Seagulls up 4-2. First pitch, outside corner called strike to Jake Brewer. Oh, 1 misses outside. Working from the wind, Amborn delivers its foul tip into the glove of Sepulveda, 1-2.
Amborn used to playing with a left field porch. Benedetti Diamond in downtown San Francisco, where the Dons plays, 315 to left, so it would have gone.
He gets some swing and miss from Brewer, the 2nd strikeout of the inning, but in the inning, a pair of hits, a pair of runs to put the Seagulls up 4-2 through 4.5. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Trevor Schlafer leads off the bottom of the fifth. The Stompers now find themselves in a 2-run hole. Haven't scored since the first 2 batters of this ball game. It'll be Schlafer, Hegeman, Sebastiani due up in the fifth. Finn Whalen working what's been a great 4 since a messy first. He's behind a Schlafer 2-0. Schlafer still hitless. That's 0 for 8 in his Stomper season so far, but he's scored 5 times. A couple of walks, a hit by pitch, reached on a couple errors. He takes a strike low in the zone. Make count 2-1. This one hit softly into right field. Foul. A packed Arnold looking for some comeback magic from the Stompers. Two-two count. Whalen comes set, delivers, and it's chopped foul down the third base line. The 2-2 hits, does not hit Schlafer, hits the glove of Chavez, so it'll be 3-2. Off speed on the inside edge, missed. The payoff pitch, fouled back, straight back. We'll do 3-2 again. Whalen gets the sign, comes set. Lifts, delivers, it misses inside to Schlafer, ball 4.
You bring up your guy, Cam Hegeman. Already a couple of singles. This would be a nice time to add another.
Hegeman, 2 for 2 on the day. He scored after the single in the first, but he was doubled up on a ground ball from Colton Boardman in the third. He's got an RBI on the year, now 7 hits. Shows bunt here, puts it down foul.
Legends got a couple runs back. They made it 6-4 against the Merchants, and Menlo Park's coming off a win against the Crawdads last night. Helped Sonoma, but Sonoma couldn't help themselves.
Whalen set, delivers, cut on and missed from Hegeman, went fishing low and out behind 0-2. And Stomper fans saw Nick Sebastiani hit the wall pretty hard on the home run last inning. He is in the on-deck circle. They check back to Schlafer at first, not in time. The 0-2 hit high into right field. Galvin is camped and makes the grab. It brings up Nick Sebastiani. The average up to 289 entering today's ball game, but he tacked on his 26th strikeout of the year in the third. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the first. That was the 77th hit batter for the Stomps this season. Check back to first, not in time to get Schlafer. And that pitch hits Sebastiani, make it 78 on the year, and I believe that's Sebastiani's 11th? 10th.
What do we have coming in?
.78 on the year. Sebastiani doesn't even crowd the plate. None of the Stompers really do. Just a terrible way to spend the summer.
Shortstop number 3, Colton Boardman.
Brings up Colton Boardman, who's got a pair of groundouts today.
Yeah, hit into a double play. Made an error. This would be a nice time to atone if you're Colton Boardman.
First pitch misses the zone. Right on left, favors the lefty Boardman. 2 on, 1 out. That pitch misses well outside, 2-0.
Nick Escalera, who's the third base coach today, assisting Mark Caviglia, is waving his hat down towards the bullpen. I think this is the last hitter for Finn Whalen.
And he gets a wave back from the arm. This one hit high into shallow left field. Coming on is Zoo, and he doesn't make the catch in foul ground. And that's a new lease on life for Colton Boardman. And that would have been just terrible to have a 2-0 pop-up into foul ground left. Would not be the way that Colton Boardman wants to go down for the third time of the ball game.
Yeah, going back to your earlier point, it was hit by pitches 9 and 10, so he's the third to the double-digit club. Boardman's right behind him with 9 hit by pitches.
2-1, served into left, down the line, just foul. Pair of opposite field foul balls now 2-2.
That's a nice 2-out approach. You want to attack if it's on the inner third and on those pitches away like the last two Boardman has seen. You just foul it off, survive, and then you hope you get one middle, you hope you get one in, and you can yank it.
It's 2-2, Whalen and Boardman. Schlafer dances off second. And a off-speed gets Boardman to cut on and miss. It's just the third strikeout for Finn Whalen.
Yeah, and Boardman, not a guy that strikes out a lot. Entered today, 9 hit by pitches, 15 walks. That's just his 12th K. And I think Finn Whalen's going to get a chance at the lefty.
And buys himself another batter. It's Trent Keys, who's 0 for 2 on the day. And he's more than due to get on base. First pitch misses inside. Whalen has had Keys' number so far. He's gotten him behind in the count, both at bats. He's forced a ground ball and a fly out.
Infield and outfield play him to pull.
The 1-0 outside corner, not a strike. It's 2-0, and weird to see a pitch on the outside corner. That's where Chavez was set up. When typically when you shift for a pull-heavy guy, you pitch him in. Try to work with the defense with the pitching approach, but not there.
Whole lot of hitting room on the left side if Trent goes the other way.
2-0, hit high and deep to dead center field. Koch ranges to his right and back, but he makes the grab. The Stompers get a pair of free passes, but they can't score them. We'll head to the top of the 6th here at Arnold Field. The San Francisco Seagulls lead the Sonoma Stompers 4-2. Patrick Richardson, the third arm of the evening for the Sonoma Stompers. He'll face Carson Chavez, Mark Zhu, and Jackson Landry, and coming in relief for Cal Amborn. Amborn went just 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He didn't walk anyone, struck out 2, but the 2 scored on the Josh Hansen home run. First pitch from Richardson, low inside corner for a strike.
Richardson, also from Newark, him and David Howard, very good friends. They played baseball together for a very long time. He's headed back to Arizona Christian after his last season there. In 3 games, he has given up 6 earned runs over 5 innings. 2 of those were to the Seagulls back on June 6th, but better of late against the Saints. He threw 1 shutout inning. That was the 20th. We haven't seen him in now 13 days.
And he's behind 2-1. It's been a couple weeks, like Kieran mentioned, but the Stomper bullpen has been very solid. Two-one, hit hard at Boardman, who fields, throws. Keys puts down another tag in time twice today.
Yeah, Boardman's throws from shortstop have been a little bit inaccurate lately.
I had an error last night, an error already in this one. Boardman just struggling a bit. He's been a black hole for the Stompers so far this season. First pitch, called strike inside corner to Mark Zhu. He reached on an error from Boardman and scored in the second that the unearned run David Howard gave up. He also struck out. He's behind 0-2 to Richardson here. Top of the 6th in Sonoma. The Stompers trail the Seagulls 4-2. 0-2 from Richardson, misses in the dirt. Richardson winds the 1-2, fouled on the right field line. Richardson raises the leg, delivers low. Working from the wind, Richardson gets the sign, lifts, delivers, served foul right. And a great battle here from Mark Zhu, making his CCL debut. The 2-2 misses low. What was an 0-2 count, now full. Three-two, hit to the right side. McCann Libby waits, fields, throws, past Trent Keys. Nice backup from Sepulveda. That's an E4.
Yeah, that's a weird play. Keys ranged too far over to try and make the play himself. Got back to the base, but Libby's throw was awry anyway. Two really bad errors against Sonoma today.
And they've both been off the bat of Mark Zhu. Brings up Jackson Landry, a walk and a ground out in today's ball game. And Howard wants a new ball.
Beer batter's up. Everyone's running out of money. We all want more beer. It's perfect. Come on, Landry, help us out.
Landry, the evening's beer batter at Arnold. He strikes out. It's half-price beer for the rest of the inning. Zhu leads off first. Doesn't go. First pitch fouled back by Jackson Landry.
Stompers faithful love to heckle the beer batter. One I heard clearly was, I have 20 bucks if you K, an ever-relevant topic in Major League Baseball. Luis Ortiz, the starter for the Cleveland Guardians, is getting investigated for fixing games. Well, fixing pitches, actually. Not fixing games, just fixing one pitch a game.
Yeah.
You see that story?
I did.
The first pitch of the third inning in 2 of his last 4 starts have been balls, and there was lots of gambling activity on first pitch of the third inning, ball or hit batsman. That's a heads-up way to make an extra buck.
Second pitch cut on and missed. Now 0-2. And that's just the world we live in now.
I don't know. Not even on real sports books.
No. Landry hearing it from the faithful. The 0-2 fouled back. Zoo was in motion, but he'll have to return to first. Still 0-2. Wonder what the books would be like if you could bet on CCL action. How many Stompers fans betting on the beer batter?
I'd have over 2.5 hit by pitches a game. That would be my problem.
Yeah. And against the Stompers, that's free money. The 0-2, outside corner, not called strike 3. Missed low, though we've seen that a couple times this evening.
Zoo was in motion on the 0-2 pitch. He stole 9 bases the past 2 seasons at City College.
1-2, Zoo goes. It's fouled back again. A nice battle here. Richardson looking to win it for the faithful. And it's one of our many responsibilities as the broadcasters to pick the beer batter. Not as much pressure today, but tomorrow we better get it right.
Have to. I think the beer sales are going to do fine on their own tomorrow.
Oh, you're expecting a full crowd at Arnold. Great way to spend the 4th. If you're in the area not planning on it, try to get into the grounds. 1-2, outside corner, called strike 3. It's half-price beer at Arnold, and the first strikeout for Patrick Richardson.
Ron Mattery just made a few friends.
But not in the Seagulls dugout. Not a nice look from Landry. He thought it was outside. And we did our job tonight. Brings up Mac Galvin. Sack fly and a ground out. First pitch cut on and missed in the dirt.
Pitch count already getting up there for Richardson. That's his 19th of the inning, where he's only faced 3+ hitters.
It's 0-1 to Mac Galvin. Runner goes, that's Zoo. The throw from Sepulveda beats him. The tag applied very casually from McCann. Libby, he atones for the error. The caught stealing puts him down 1-2-3. Richardson gets out of a runner reaching on the air. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, 4-2 in favor of the visitors here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. McCann Libby leads off the bottom of the 6th. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Devin Laginto takes the box. That's the press box, of course, not the batter's box, because he's a pitcher, and a dang good one at that. Went 9 shutout innings on Tuesday against Menlo Park. New arm on the bump for the Seagulls. It's Curtis Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, a lefty from Harwich, Massachusetts. He's not playing for the Mariners of the Cape League, the reigning Cape League champion Harwich Mariners, actually. 6'1", 200 pounds. A senior, plays at St. Peter's University.
1-1 to Libby, misses high. Well, Thomas went from the reigning champs to a struggling Seagulls squad.
5.68 ERA over 3 games. That's good for 4 earned runs in 6 1/3.
The 2-1 finds the zone 2-2.
Yeah, look for a lot of those pitches to miss. He's walked 9 over 6. Also struck out 7.
Libby tripled his last time up. The 2-2 in the dirt. That's a nice little piece of hook from Thomas, but it misses low. (3-2) ball 4 to McCann Libby. It's a leadoff walk. And Paul Lazul takes the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a flyout and a walk. And he came up to the booth today, changed the walk-up song, Your Love by the Outfield. It rings home to the Rockies fan in me, Charlie Blackmon's walk-up for Just So Long. Lefty Lazul cuts on the first pitch he sees. It's a fastball, fouls it back, 0-1.
Yeah, entered today on a little 0 for 7 over the midweek road trip. He's flown out and walked so far today.
Libby leads off first. Doesn't go the pitch high to Lazul. And a little signature piece from Paulie. The ball misses on an edge or closest. She just gives a very calm little disapproving nod in the box. The 1-1 hit down the third base line into the Flybird Margarita Lounge, foul. The 1-2 hit right back up the middle, a chance for 2. Hansen tosses to Hodges, who throws to first in time to get Paul Lazul.
Second time the Stompers have hit into a double play today. Both real rally killers.
Brings up Brady Shannon, who's 0 for 2 on the day. A flyout and a strikeout.
Yeah, Brady's such a streaky hitter, was so good. 6 hits, 7 RBIs over the weekend. He's now 0 for his last 9.
Fouls off the first pitch he sees.
Crushed a baseball his first time up all the way to the wall and left, but did not have enough to get out.
And really robbed of a hit there. It's 0-1, cut on and missed. A nice off speed. And behind 0-2, and Thomas looking for a 1-2-3 to start his evening. The 0-2 outside and low. And Thomas thought he had it. 1-2 inside, nearly hit Shannon. Misses 2-2. And time called by Shannon. It's 2-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. The Seagulls lead the Stomps 4-2. The pitch cut on and missed. It's 1-2-3 for Curtis Thomas. We'll head to the top of the seventh. Kieran Costa takes over on play-by-play for the final three. Stick around. Devin Laginto takes the mic for the seventh here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Ryan Sayo takes the mound. He comes on in relief of Patrick Richardson, who gave up or got a ground ball, then an error, and then a strike him out, throw him out, double play, end the inning. He gives way to Ryan Sayo, who's making his fifth appearance all out of the bullpen. A 1-0 record, a 3.85 ERA. It's his first time going up against the Seagulls, and he'll have Galvin, Waldvogel, and Koch 7, 8, and 9. They're going through the signs with Sepulveda. Sayo, a righty pitcher that comes down from the side. Not an easy guy to catch. Talked to Luke Duncan about that. From Sacramento, played at Sac City, transferred over to Cal State Fullerton. He'll be teammates with Nick Santavanez in the fall. That brings up Mac Galvin to lead off the inning. The right fielder stands in from the right side, and he'll work against a fellow righty, Ryan Sayo. The first pitch hits him on the front hip. 81 right on the front hip of Galvin, who's aboard for the first time today, and that brings up Derek Waldvogel, who's struck out a couple of times, one of those against Howard, one of those against Amborn. Sayo, the fourth arm used by Zach Pace. Howard gave up 2 over 4. Amborn gave up a 2-run home run. In his one inning of work, Richardson put down the goals in order. Sayo pitches low. It's a fastball, but it has a lot of bite to it. A lot of two-seam action from the righty. Bends over and checks first base, slings it in there, and it's fouled off the opposite way by the right Waldvogel. Sayo sets his back foot on the third base side of the rubber, puts the glove on the front hip, and then bends down and has to turn his head to check first base. He comes home. Waldvogel lines it into left. Coming on is Sebastiani, and he has to play it on a hop. Just sort of slapped that one over the third baseman Schlafer's head. And the first two have reached, and now we're joined by Devin Laginto, who had such a nice outing 2 days ago. Complete game shutout. When was the last time you threw 9 innings, Dev?
Never. That was my first time throwing 9 innings. So.
Not even in high school? They didn't like you out like that?
Well, I mean, high school was only 7 innings. The most that I pitched then was 8, but yeah, never 9.
How many times you aren't going over 100 pitches? You ended at 104.
A good amount of times. I'd say probably a good 50, maybe 60% of my outings in high school.
A couple days after, shoulders feeling fine?
Second day soreness is definitely hitting me. Yeah, that first day after it was fine, but today it's just something else.
We're joined by Devin Laginto here in the top of the 7th inning. Stompers trail it 4-2. Seo delivers. Squaring to bunt is Koch, and he pulls it back. It's called a ball. You guys got the win 2-0, so a close one there. You would have liked a little more run support, or you were just focused on the hitters?
Honestly, having a close game like that helps me focus more on what's ahead.
Koch lines this one into left. Sebastiani is back to home plate. It's going to go off the wall on a hop, and the Seagulls are going to add to the lead. 1 run scores. Escalera sends the other runner. Boardman's throw to the plate is offline. It's a 2 RBI double for Ben Koch, his 3rd hit of the game. And you might be bad luck up in this booth, Devin. It's now 6-2.
All right.
I'm just kidding. It's not you. It's 6-2. Stompers offense has some work to do. Lengthening yourself out like that. Was there ever a doubt, let's say after the 7th inning, that you had 2 more innings in the tank?
Honestly, it was never in mind. The 9th inning was when I really felt a little bit fatigued, and just because it's been a long time since I pitched that long. So that 9th inning, I was really gassed. And my last pitch, I just put everything that I had left. So if he would have got on, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah, ended on a strikeout, 10 strikeout performance. You had the swing and miss stuff working. What pitch were you really going for on 0-2?
0-2, I noticed that their hands were really behind my fastball. So noticing that, I knew they were going to get their foot down early 0-2. So I really focused on having my slider working to righties, and then changeups weren't working, so I would just throw a fastball up to
Seo
lefties.
behind 0-2 on the leadoff hitter Hansen, who homered over the left field fence last time up. Seo pitches, it's outside, nice block by Sepulveda. Now it's 3-0.
1 second.
Too many fans coming up to Devin in the booth. They want to sign baseball. I'll take a signed baseball after the broadcast as well, if you're just handing them out. 3-0 from Seo in there at the knees. The count's 3-1.
Really good. Yeah, Seo's got some good stuff. His sinker is working really well. He's struggling a little bit locating-wise, but if he keeps that front shoulder closed, he'll be good.
You had a change in commitment from Grand Canyon to San Joaquin Delta College. So that was your first start out of the portal. Did that feel like a little bit of a monkey off the back for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said in the interview, actually having a place to go for sure just puts so much stress off my shoulders, because not knowing where I was going to go kind of put even more pressure on me to perform during that first month, just because I was trying to get some scouts on me, but I know God has a plan for me, and Delta felt like the place to be.
3-2 pitch.
Good.
Strikes him out swinging.
Really good slider out of Seo right there. That was gross.
First strikeout for Seo. First out of the inning after hit by pitch single double. Stompers offense has work to do with 9 outs left, and that's an outing where you had everything going. You'd struggled a little bit the outing before against Walnut Creek. When you have like a first inning, let's say you give up 2 runs, what's the mental battle like to go back out there for the second and try and throw up a 0?
Yeah, so if I go out there and, stuff isn't working for me, for the second inning, I'll really take my time in my warm-up pitches to get everything dialed in and just attack that inning harder than I did the last.
That's a
sword.
Half swing. Hodges fouls it back, 0-2. Sales look to have found the command after a tough 3 hitters to start in. With you work so fast. Rhythm's clearly a big part of what you do on the mound. It seemed like Walnut Creek did a good job of taking you out of that rhythm, out of that pace. Would we be wrong in saying that that's a big part of your game out there?
Yeah, pace is definitely one of the big parts of my game. Keeps the hitters off balance. Good!
Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Devin Laginto loves it. And so we'll just stay here. Why break for the 7th inning stretch? 6-2, you're talking about that fast rhythm. It seemed to be going to your hat a lot, a couple other things in that Walnut Creek start. What happened to get you out of that rhythm maybe?
Honestly, I wasn't doing my part in locating my pitches. My fastball was kind of all over the place during that time. And when my fastball isn't getting located, then the hitters are just sitting dead red on a pitch in the zone, and they are not going to miss that. Especially with how good Walnut Creek's hitters are, they aren't going to miss those mistakes.
Something we saw there from Sepulveda for the second time today. He throws out a runner. You got a lot of help from your catchers in your start and slow where you worked into the 7th inning. What can you say about Esteban Sepulveda and Connor Pulowski and how good they've been cutting down runners that you guys give up getting on the base path?
Dude, they've been nails behind the dish. They get literally everyone that, I could ask for out when they're stealing. And Luke Duncan, too. He has a cannon behind the plate, but all of them work extremely hard. And, there's a reason why they play at the level that they do, because all their hard work and effort that they put in early work and, when they're gone, definitely shows during their game.
You've worked now with all 3 of the Stomper catcher in your starts, and last one for you. You told us that you weren't too happy with what your ERA was going into that last start, and really how you'd performed in those first 5 starts. You kept the team in the game every time, but maybe not hitting that benchmark personally that you wanted. Any specific things that you picked up in that Menlo Park game that you want to take into your next start?
Definitely being more aggressive with the fastball. I learned just by seeing how the hitters swing when I'm going through my windup and stretch. I hide my fastball really well, and it really gets on the hitters quicker than they expect. So just being more aggressive with the fastball.
Devin, great outing. Last time you went a couple days ago, the Stompers look to get back in the win column from that here in the late innings. Thanks so much for hopping on the broadcast with
Yes,
me.
sir. Thank you.
Esteban Sepulveda, who just had that great defensive play to end the last inning, will now dig in from the right side. His team trails at 6-2. Work to do for the Stomps offense, and that first pitch hook drops in from Kurt Thomas. Roman Raffelli takes back over the color commentary duties. I don't think your call would have been as electric as Laginto's was on that play at third.
Oh, just sitting across the press box got me fired up.
Has to get the bats fired up. That's the big thing. They trail it 6-2, and this is the problem that the Stompers had yesterday. They got the first 3 runs of the ball game. In the first and second inning, they led 3-0, and the Merchants got the next 4 to win it. Sepulveda fooled. It's 1-2. A check swing, he did go, says Harvey Maxey. Same things happened tonight. They led 2-0 after the first. The next 6 have belonged to San Francisco. That's a pair of runs in the 2nd, 5th, and 7th. Pitch. Low outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sepulveda looking to spark a rally for the Stomps in the 7th. He cranks this one to left, but chasing back is Zoo, crossing towards the warning track. He comes in a couple of steps to make the catch.
That ball hit a mile high to the track, but couldn't flatten it out. Had he flattened it out just a little bit, it would have been well over the wall. Stompers got to get it going late.
That brings up Trevor Schlafer, who's now 0 for 8 as a Stomper, but does have 5 runs scored. He finds a way to score when he gets aboard, so the Stomps need him to do that here. He was stranded at second base when he had a 5th inning walk.
And the Stompers have scored 20 runs this season in the 7th inning. They need a couple here because in the 8th inning, it's just 8 runs and just 6 in the 9th.
A lot of those runs came in walk-off fashion when they scored 2 to beat the Legends a couple weeks ago. A pitch to Schlafer's fouled back 1-1. No action for now in the Stomper bullpen, and Seo, after a real tough start to the first 3 hitters, was very good to close out the frame. One-two pitch. Schlafer fouls it off. We'll do it again. Six-2 Seagulls, looking to even the season series at 2 apiece. One-two. That's sent towards second base. Out goes Hansen, and he makes the easy catch. Whips it back to the top of the order, and Cam Hageman, who has a couple of singles, a run scored. He's also flown out to right. Out one misses up and outside. That's the first time we haven't seen first pitch swing. First time we have seen no first pitch swing. This one's fouled back to the screen. Kurt Thomas played 2 seasons at Central Connecticut State and has played the last 2 years at St. Peter's, playing in the MAC. He had a 15.88 earned run average for the Peacocks last season. That one's over the outside corner for a called strike 1 and 2. 2024 he played there. Did he overlap a year with Doug Eddert and the Peacocks team that made a miraculous run in March Madness? I think that was 2023.
I think it was 2023.
All the way back then. 1-2 is inside on Hageman. Can't even remember back to my youth.
Well, if you... Well, while we're on the topic, I happened to win my high school's March Madness Challenge that year, and I picked the 4-seed UConn to win it all. I picked both sides of the back-to-back. That was my senior year.
Guessed like 5th grade. You're the
whatever.
young kid in the press box.
Come on now.
2-2 pitch. Hageman takes low outside.
No need to get disrespectful now.
At senior year?
Senior year. Spring. It was a great time. Got a state championship. Won March Madness bracket challenge.
2 things. I don't have either of those accolades to my name. The pitch to Hageman. He strikes out swinging. And the Stompers go 1-2-3. Kurt Thomas has faced the minimum through 2. To the 8th inning we go. The Gulls lead the Stomps 6-2. Ryan Sayo takes the mound for his second inning of work, trying to hold this at just a 4-run deficit, and the first pitch he delivers is bunted for a hit and a beauty.
That's a textbook drag bunt there. He looked like he was swinging the whole way, and as soon as the ball got there, he just threw the barrel in front of the plate, put it perfectly down the third base line. That's a nifty play from Jake Brewer.
So that's Brewer's first hit. He was an on-base at 450 guy. He was 0 for 3 entering that at-bat. Big lead off first. Sale looks over. We'll see if Brewer runs. He doesn't, and it's in there for a called strike to Carson Chavez. 8 stolen bases on the year for Brewer, who's come up through the Seagulls Baseball Academy starting at 12U. He's also an instructor for the younger Seagulls teams. Plays his college ball at Kenyatta. 0-1, a check on him, and he gets back in a hurry with a headlong dive. Leading off first base is Brewer. And Sayo checks again, a closer play, but back safely.
A nice tag from Trent Keyes. We've seen him do it a lot on a ground ball throw to him, but I don't know that we've seen him on the back end of a pickoff yet this season.
That one is a check on first base again. Oh, 1. Fouled off to the right side. The Legends and the Merchants on the out-of-town scoreboard are knotted at 7. As we play, they play in the 5th. We play here in the 8th. 0-2 pitch on the way to Carson Chavez. A single, a strikeout, and a ground out. Sayo looking for that same ground ball. That one's outside. Sepulveda's going to check on first. And again, Brewer barely makes it back.
Feeling a little speedy after the drag bunt.
No. Keep stealing bases on the paths. You say it's impossible to steal first base. A drag bunt's sort of like stealing first base, it feels like.
Or a dropped third strike.
That one misses. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carson Chavez. Ryan Sayo does not like the first sign Esteban Sepulveda put down. What about the second? Brewer runs the pitch away and Sepulveda can't corral it. 9th stolen base for Brewer. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch is outside. So 2 on to start the inning.
Left fielder number 49, Mark Zoo.
And here comes Mike Nunez to the mound, and now there's action in the Stomper bullpen. Patrick Richardson turned down the Seagulls in order. He didn't get a second inning of work, but after a hit by pitch, a single, and a double, Ryan Sayo does, and his brother Kyle is now up and loosening behind him. It's Mark Zoo, Jackson Landry, and Matt Galvin. Those will be the next 3 to face Sayo in a situation that has set up first and second, nobody out. The Stompers, the way the offense has been of late, cannot afford to go down more than 4 runs. Have to stay within a slam. So Mike Nunez heads back to the dugout. He's Zach Pace's pitching coach, has been for quite a while. Casey Gilroy is bench coach. Paul Madarena is hitting coach. Kenny Meimersdorf does just about everything, including fill-in first base coach the past couple days. Jacoby Heyer back to his regularly scheduled duties over there. Trent Keys plays in front of the runner. And that's smart because already squaring to bunt. And now pulling it back is Mark Zhu. A little slash attempt from the righty in his Seagull debut. He's playing right on the lip of the grass, as is Schlafer. Not the Anthony Rizzo halfway towards home plate. Squaring to bunt again. A big move to second, and Paul Remedios said they didn't get him. And the first play Remedios has had to make out there in the B position as the umpire. And that was a very, very close one.
Looked like Boardman got the ball really on the helmet of Brewer, and it was still a foot or so off the bag, but I guess I saw wrong.
Zhu slashed last time. He tries to put down a bunt and misses badly. The count's 0-2. Flailed at a pitch that was down below the zone. It's one where you need to try and pull the bat back. Oh-2 now coming. Seo to Zhu. Struck him out swinging. An unsuccessful slash, an unsuccessful bunt, and then an unsuccessful swing. Third K for Seo. Now a ground ball from Landry could get him out of it.
And it's kind of a weird at-bat for Zhu. Typically, if you're going to try to slash, you're going to try to just swing it after that, not fake the bunt, try to slash, miss it, then try to bunt again, give up a strike. Weird sequence.
Was he told to slash and then just decided, or told to bunt and slashed himself? Who knows? That one kicks off the glove of Sepulveda to the screen. The runners will take the free 90. And the double plays out of order, and you have to think the Stomper infield draws in. I know Zach Pace doesn't like drawing the infield in with that trail runner at second base, but you can afford another run to get on the board.
And now a meeting here between Landry and the third base coach.
Now if anything more gets past Esteban Sepulveda, that's a run, and that would make it 7-0. Sonoma trails the ball game by the score of 6-2. The pitch, Landry fouls it off of the mask of Esteban. Now it looks like the infield may have drawn in. Keys was set up on the grass. Zach Pace takes a couple steps out of the dugout. But his backstop is okay. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The right side of the infield drawn in. The whole infield drawn in, and Landry swings and misses. Schlafer doesn't have 2 feet on the grass of the infield, but I think if the ball comes to him, he's coming home. Is that medium depth, would you call it?
Even with the bag, it can be pretty typical for a lot of guys there. It's maybe slightly cut for Schlafer, but likely takes a step or two in when the pitch is delivered.
Pitch. Struck him out swinging. Now there's no need for the infield to come in with 2 outs, and Zach Pace is going to go get Ryan Seo. So, well, you never are actually too sure with Zach. Maybe he's telling him one more hitter, but Mike Nunez already came to the hill, so you'd think the day has to be done. The whole infield's drawn in around Ryan. There was no early move from Zach.
And
he'll take the baseball. So the bullpen gate swings open, but don't change the dial. We'll be back for the conclusion of the 8th when we return on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Kyle Sayo comes on in relief of his brother Ryan, who gave up 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, 4 strikeouts, 3 hits in 1.2 innings. He's given up 2 earned runs and is on the hook for a couple more. We'll see if his younger brother can get him out of the mess. Second and third, 2 outs.
Right fielder number 26, Mac Galvin.
Pitch from Kyle Sayo is grounded to Schlafer. It eats him up, but he sets his feet. He throws to first in time. So Kyle Sayo picks up his brother in a big way on just 1 pitch. The putout goes 5-3, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The score holds at 6-2 San Francisco. Ben Sebastiani comes off the bench to hit for his cousin, Nick, beg your pardon, and he takes a called strike 1. So he stays with the last name, but he changes. But first, Ben subs in for Nick, and he's quickly behind no balls and 2 strikes. Ben Sebastiani, interesting. Splits 11 walks and 11 strikeouts in 23 at-bats. Just 3 hits. And here his knees are buckled. He can't take the bat off his shoulder. He's gone on 3 pitches, and Kirk Thomas is dealing out of the bullpen.
That's his 3rd strikeout. He's been very solid for a 3. What could be a 4-inning close, and what would be just the Seagulls' 6th win, but they're 2nd against the Stompers at Arnold Field.
Goodness. You never want to be part of 33% of a team's season victories this late into it. To be fair, how many times has Sonoma beaten Menlo Park? 7? That's almost half of the Stomper wins. That one's back up middle, base hit Colton Boardman. Maybe that ignites the offense. Bordy's aboard with a 1-out single in the 8th. I didn't think about that. 7 of the team's 15 wins are against Menlo Park.
Yeah.
Number 25,
It's been a tough year for the Legends.
That's a worrisome number if you're Sonoma.
They've stomped the season series.
In a big way. They see him one more time. That's coming up in a couple weeks here at Arnold Field. Boardman leads the team in stolen bases. He has 11. Held on by Landry. Thomas, a right-handed pitcher, comes home, and it's high. Thomas, a right-handed pitcher, comes home. Keys takes and misses inside. His on-base streak could be in jeopardy. 0 for 3 today. He has an RBI, but we'd love to get aboard here and keep this rally going. 2-0 is sent in the air to left field, not deep. A long way for Zoo. Still coming, and he places it on a hop. Trent Keys, that wasn't a hard-hit baseball, but it does the job. Back-to-back singles for Sonoma. And now Kurt Thomas has to work out of a mess. Thomas, really a New England kid through and through. He was born in Harwich, Massachusetts. That's on the Cape. There's really not a lot of places better to grow up than on Cape Cod. Then he goes to Central Connecticut State. He played in the New England Collegiate Baseball League last summer, and his appearance with the Seagulls here in California will come to an end. So all that stats are for next time we see him out on the hill. He heads back to the dugout. He tips his cap to the dugout. And we'll see a new arm on the mound for San Francisco when we return. 2 on, 1 out. The Stompers threatening in the 8th. They trail at 6-2. The new man out of the bullpen is Justin Robinson, who has made 6 appearances. 3 of them have been starts. In 15.2 innings, he has a 2.87 ERA. He also has a save. He's looking for a 5-out save for Mark Caviglia and their 6th victory of the season. He has work to do. McCann Libby takes the pitch straight to the screen. The Stompers will take the base 93 miles an hour out of the hand of Robinson, but directly to the backstop. The Stompers have 2nd and 3rd, and a rally is a brewing here in the bottom of the 8th.
I thought it sounded like it nicked Libby. I guess it was the glove of Chavez, but I mean, either way, 90 feet to the two lead runners now, second and third, one out.
Yeah, Robinson's appeared in double-digit games in 3 consecutive seasons for University of Louisiana Monroe, and after missing very high, he misses very low. Good job, Carson Chavez saved a run.
And facing someone he might see next spring in McCann Libby going to Louisiana Tech.
2 balls and no strikes. Stompers looking to climb their way back into this one. Libby takes inside 3-0. First base open, and Paul Lazul on deck. Kurt Thomas started this inning with a strikeout of Ben Sebastiani. Since then, he gave up back-to-back singles to Boardman and Keys. The new man, Robinson, gets a 3-0 in there inside corner. We haven't seen that given a lot by Rod Mattery. And the count's 3-1. Good take, McCann Libby. 3-0, that's definitely not your pitch. 3-1, that's not your pitch either. 3-2, that's not your pitch either. That was not a strike. Libby fouls it at home plate. That was a strike. 93-mile-per-hour challenge fastball.
And this is totally random stat. For the second time today, we've seen someone foul a pitch off, and then it hit the bat again in the backswing. Twice in a game.
Is there a phrase for that? Double hit?
It'd be a stroke penalty in golf.
Double dip? Stroke penalty? I don't think that really applies to this one. 3-2 pitch. Robinson to Libby, right on right, and it's way outside and kicks to the backstop. A very smart hold by Colton Boardman. No need to test it on a pitch that came back towards the catcher Chavez, and the bases are loaded with just 1 out. And it brings up Paul Lazul looking to break out of an 0 for 9. Bases full of Stompers. The tying run is the left-handed hitter Paul Lazul. The pitch outside. That's a slider, and it missed badly. The count's 1-0. Slider slurve will pick it up.
And the miss has been arm side so far for Robinson. Lazul needs to be cautious here, not extend the zone out.
1 ball and no strikes to the left-handed hitting DH. Robinson pitches, Lazul takes outside, 2-0. No place to put Paul. Bases full of Stompers with 1 out here in the last of the 8th. The Seagulls lead it 6 runs to 2. Hitting room on the pull side of the infield for Lazul. He takes 95 miles an hour through the heart. Trackman's running hot today. Brady Shannon on deck. The pitch to Lazul inside 3-0. One more wide one forces in a run and puts the go-ahead run at the plate. And that would be Brady Shannon, a guy with more than enough home run power.
And he hit a ball over 300 feet today. It just barely died in front of the wall.
3-1, hitters count. Paul Lazul with the bases loaded. Robinson delivers, and Lazul lines it foul down the left field line. It's a good pitch. 3-1, he got a fastball, bottom of the zone. He went down and got it and shot it the other way.
And that's exactly the piece of hitting you want there, just barely late.
The Stompers find themselves in a bases loaded 3-2 count late in a ball game yet again. Something's got to give. Robinson to Lazul. The delivery is lined foul the opposite way. It's an exact same pitch and the same result. And a foul ball, but late was the lefty Lazul. Paul flew out in the first, walked in the 4th, bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the 6th. We'll see what Robinson goes to with a second 3-2. Struck out Paul Lazul, fastball 93. First out recorded by Robinson. First strikeout. Big spot now for Brady Shannon. The Stompers had bases loaded, 2 outs, down by 1 in the top of the 9th inning yesterday. They have to work just to get to that spot and get to the 9th inning down a run. 2 innings with just 1 walk last time these two teams met, and Colton Boardman fakes and has to go back to third, and Trent Keys was 80% of the way to third base. Boardman was halfway home, slipped, turned around. Again, probably the right decision. When it's coming 93 miles an hour, it's coming off the backstop at that same velocity. You have to trust Brady Shannon to get a knock, especially ahead in the count 1-0.
Yeah, you never want to make an out on the base pass, especially the third one. That likely would have been the dagger, but a good recovery.
Shannon swings and fouls it back to the screen. Bases loaded for the Stompers. 6-2. The visiting Seagulls hold the lead. The 1-1 pitch to Shannon. Low. Fastball 94 miles an hour. Nothing's been softer than 92 on the heater. We've seen just a couple of sliders so far. Just one slider. That was like the 3rd pitch he threw, and it missed badly. 2-1. Shannon swings and fouls it back again. Elevated fastball. It was just a little under it and a little bit late.
That's a challenge pitch. He got Shannon to chase with a ball to give here. Wouldn't surprise me if they go right back to it.
Boardman's at third. Keys is at second. Libby's at first. Mano-y-mano, hard-throwing righty against a big power threat in the right-handed bat of Brady Shannon. 2-2 pitch. There's the slider. It's grounded to third. Brewer takes it to the bag, and the inning is over. The Stompers threaten with 2 hits, but leave them loaded in the 8th. To the 9th inning we go. The Stompers trail the Seagulls 6-2 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Derek Waldvogel, then Ben Koch, and the top of the order in Josh Hansen. Kyle Saya looking to hold it right here. The The Stompers in the bottom of the inning will have Sepulveda, Schlafer, and Hegeman. That's 8, 9, and 1. But lots of options off the bench. Boardman gloves the ground ball and throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the ninth.
Now batting, center fielder number 25, Ben Koch.
Ben Koch, singled twice, doubled, stolen 2 bases. He was also caught stealing third base. Right on left, that's Kyle Sayo to Ben Koch. One 0 pitch, outside. Pardon, first pitch outside, 1-0. Koch entered plate at a 5 for 40 on the season with a double. He has 3 hits today. Seems like that's how this one's gone for Sonoma. San Francisco entered with 5 wins. They're well on their way to number 6. Pitch to Koch is low, 2-0. The Stomps need some sort of a rally. They haven't scored since the first inning. In their now 26th game, they've scored just 6 runs in the 9th inning. 2-0. Outside 3-0. Sayo has to find the zone to the 9-hitter. He's behind 3-0. The pitch, low. 4-pitch walk to Ben Koch, who's aboard for the 4th time today, and I'm going to venture to say it's the first time he's been to base 4 times here in the 2025 summer. And Josh Hansen, who said, I'm back here in the CCL with a 2-run home run in the 5th inning. That still proves to be the difference. It's now 6-2. That made it 4-2. And that is why Cal Amborn is on the hook for the loss right now. Sayo checks on first, and another very close pickoff play.
The Sayos have some nice stuff to first.
Sac City must work a lot on their pickoff play. Both righties, too. Koch stolen every time he's been aboard. 2 for 3 on the bases. That one's in there, called strike. And now, Roman, the question of pinch hitting decisions once again looms large for Zach Pace. He's already burned 1 pinch hitter. 0-1. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. He has Hahn and Shepler from the left side. He's used Ben Sebastiani. He has Baker and Pulaski from the right side. And I would like to see Connor hit for Esteban, but it's just me. That's why he makes the managerial decisions, and I hang out up here in the booth with you. Wouldn't trade it, though. Wouldn't trade it. 0-2 pitch. Koch runs. It's popped up. Very shallow left. Ben Sebastiani started back. Now he has to come on and play it on a hop. That's the 2nd time this season we've seen Ben Sebastiani struggle with the lights playing left field.
Shortstop number 9.
Goes as a single.
Hodges.
Brings up Jalen Hodges. 3rd time aboard for Hansen. Just stood flat-footed for a good 3 seconds, and then when he broke in, it was much too late. You also have the light-hitting Trevor Schlafer. He's 0 for 9 to start his Stomper campaign. And you know you're facing velocity. It will be Justin Robinson still in. Hodges tries to bunt, and he is going to hit Esteban Sepulveda with the bunt. Stompers got 2 in the first. It looked like they were Gonna jump all over the last place Seagulls. Instead, it's been San Francisco taking 2 in the second, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the seventh to have a commanding 6-2 lead, threatening for more. Kyle Sayo checks second and comes home. That's line to the second baseman. Libby has flipped to second base. Double play. A line drive, 4-6 double play. The Stompers have been good defensively. They have a double play of a ground ball variety, strike him out, throw him out double play, and now a line drive, 4-6 double play. But the offense has a whole lot of work to do. They'll need a miracle to win it in the last of the ninth. They trail 6-2 with 3 outs to play. Esteban Sepulveda will hit for himself against Robinson and take outside. 1-0. Sepulveda came off the bench as a pinch hitter in yesterday's ball game. He grounded out and struck out. That includes he struck out with 2-on-1 out in the ninth. He leads off the final frame here today, and he takes inside. He's ahead 2-0.
And a key thing for the Stompers in the ninth, you can't get it all back in one swing. You need a patient approach, play the small ball.
2-0, good pitch at the knees. Sepulveda did not swing. It's 2-1. The Stompers don't swing on 2-0 though. Stompers don't really swing ahead in the count. 2-1 pitch, outside 3-1.
I don't always understand the patience with 2-0 counts. We know they don't swing 3-0, and that's good baseball, but half the reason you play summer ball is to get some good stats, get recruited. Why not swing 2-0?
3-1, Sepulveda takes, and it's a walk. Good thing he didn't swing there. He's aboard. The Stompers need a couple more of those base runners, and that brings up Trevor Schlafer, and that case very unwilling to go to his bench. Unless everything works out for a 4-5 run rally, I'll have a question for Skip about leaving guys on the bench. Schlafer takes a called strike 1. A pitch to Schlafer, high 1-1. The Stompers played a thrilling ball game last night in Alameda. They came up in the top of the ninth inning, down by a run, loaded the bases with 2 outs, and a pitch to McCann Libby. He came up empty for a strikeout, so the Stompers left him loaded. They need to load him up for even a shot to tie this one. 6-2, the San Francisco lead over Sonoma. 1-1 pitch. Schlafer pops it foul up over our heads. He's behind 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Robinson to Schlafer. Trevor grounds it to third base. Brewer goes to second base and he throws it into right field. Jogging in to third there is Sepulveda. It's an E5 charge to Jake Brewer, and the Stompers catch a massive break. First and third, this one far from over. The top of the order, and Cam Hageman. Gideon Hahn out on deck to hit for Ben Sebastiani.
That's a break if I've ever seen one. Brewer rushed the throw, pulled it towards left field, and just not be time for an error.
That one's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Every Stomper except Schlafer has been ahead of Robinson, who's now facing his 6th hitter. Hageman ahead in the count, 1-0. Runners at the corners. The pitch. Hageman takes a called strike. Ron Mattery's really opened up the zone to the inner third to the righty here in the later innings. 2 on, no out. Wind still blowing. The American flag waves on the night before Independence Day, and that one's a called strike. That's the off speed, and the count's 1-2.
Stompers looking for some early fireworks.
You were going to go there. I was looking for America was down a little bit in 1776 as well.
A little bit headier than mine.
1-2 pitch. Hageman chases, and there's one down.
Now batting, number 1, Gideon Hahn.
Second strikeout for Robinson, the second time Hageman's gone down. And Gideon Hahn will pinch hit for Ben Sebastiani, who pinch hit for Nick Sebastiani. You'd hope that he's okay. First and third, double play still in order. Hahn led off the 9th inning as a pinch hitter yesterday. He hit a 3-2 ground ball to the second baseman. Looking to find a gap here, or get on base any way that he can. The pitch to Hahn, up and outside, 1-0. These teams have played 3 times. The average margin of victory in those first 3 was 11.5 runs. No such blowout here tonight, and a check on Schlafer. He dives back safely. It's just a 4-run game, but the Stompers have the tying run in the on-deck circle. 2 on, 1 out, 9th inning. Sonoma looking to scratch across their first run since inning number 1. Hahn squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. It counts 1-1. Colton Boardman on deck, singled his last trip. 1-1 pitch. Hahn swings and misses late on a fastball at 92. One-two pitch. Hahn takes low, 2-2. Stompers need to get their bats up. Boardman on deck, and then Trent Keys, the hottest hitter on the team. Definitely the hottest hitter still remaining in the lineup after Nick Sebastiani was lifted for a pinch hitter. 2-2 on the way to Hahn. Up and out, 3-2. No action in the bullpen for Mark Caviglia and the Seagulls. This is Justin Robinson's inning to get out of. And I know you're down 4 runs. And I know you don't want to take the bat out of Colton Boardman's hands, but I wonder if you send Schlafer. He doesn't. Hahn takes ball 4. He'll get second base anyway. Base is full. Couple walks and an error. The Stompers have bases loaded opportunities again.
And I think it's smart there not to send Schlafer, only because you've seen 3 walks now from hitting Hahn, and ultimately that might get him out of a double play, but you don't need to risk making it out down 4 in the 9th.
It looks like there is somebody coming out of the Seagulls, but no one had been warming up for the past 5 minutes. But no guarantee that Caviglia makes the move, and he doesn't. It was just a little pep talk for his righty closer. Base is full for Sonoma. The tying run at the plate in Colton Boardman. He leads the team. He has 5 doubles. He's yet to put a ball over the wall. Wow, this would be a big time to do it. He had 1 home run for Cal State University Northridge. The pitch to him is low, 1-0. Boardman, a guy that's seen velocity, playing for Northridge. They played Santa Clara. They played Fullerton. He's seen 90 plus, and he needs to do something with it. The pitch, check swing, appeal, no swing, says Paul Remedios. 2 balls now and no strikes, and Ben Koch is playing aggressively no doubles defense in center field. Boardman serves one to center. That one's dunking in, and he'll do it ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. High, 3 balls and no strikes. One more wide one forces in a run. And Colton Boardman has a chance to be very, very patient in a 3 balls and no strike count.
A guy who you almost always get a quality at-bat from, a big one here.
Trent Keys on deck. The 3-0 to Boardman in there, 3-1. Took a couple MPH off the fastball, 92. A good get-me-over. Everyone in this ballpark knew Boardman wasn't swinging 3-0. 3-1 now. Boardman takes high, ball 4. And Trent Keys digs in as the winning run in a 6-3 ball game in the 9th.
Not the ideal outing for Robinson. He's given 5 outs to get to close this one. And he has now 4 walks just halfway through facing the lineup. Through 8 batters. Trent Keys the one he hasn't faced yet.
Keys has a hit in 3 out of 4. He swings first pitch and pops it up. It's no man's land down the left field line, and it's going to drop in fair territory. Nobody's covering third base. The throw, the tag, he's out. Right in front of Paul Remedios, and he punches out, and Zach Pace sprints out of the dugout. Dave Hoke was right in front of the plate. He can't believe it. Brewer went to catch the baseball that dropped down the left field line, and he never touched the base. It was a forced play, but he didn't touch the base. He decided to bring a tag. Oh no, the Stompers were so unlucky with the umpiring crew yesterday. It might have come back to bite him again today.
I believe you can ask for help here to Rod Mattery, but he didn't look like he got the tag down on Hahn, and he could have stepped on the base but didn't.
It goes in the book as a fielder's choice. There's not really a way you have Paul Remedios change his mind. Fielder's choice. Trent Keys. And Hahn's going to have to head back to the dugout.
Second baseman number 49, McCann Libby.
It's a fielder's choice. It goes 7-5. Coming in to score is Schlafer. And now McCann Libby takes inside. The tying runs are aboard. First and second, Libby needs to find a gap. And for the second consecutive night, McCann Libby finds himself in the batter's box with the game on the line. The pitch, low 2-0.
An oddly similar situation here, a hard-throwing righty on the bump who's had a little bit of issues finding the zone.
The The lefty Paul Lazul on deck. 2 on, 2 out. Stompers trail at 6-4. Boardman way off second. The pitch to Libby. Outside corner, called strike. It's 93, middle away. Libby watched it for a called strike 1. Two on, 2 out. The pitch to Libby. Called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCann Libby represents the winning run in the 9th. The Stompers 4, the Seagulls 6, first and second. 2-2 pitch, runners go, it's outside, and now a base hit most likely ties the ball game, and will do it from a payoff count between Robinson and Libby.
And Libby walked the first time he saw him.
See what he does his second look. If Robinson misses the zone, the Stompers will reload the bases. Justin Robinson comes set at the belt. Stares into the sign, pitches, Libby takes high ball 4. 5th walk. In while just getting 4 outs. And Paul Lazul, 0 for 3 with a walk, comes up in a huge spot.
Number 45, Paul Lazul.
And that's a messy save if he gets it. I mean, 5 walks in an inning and 2/3. That's a miracle line. You got it done with just a 4-run lead, but a big AB here for Paul Lazul.
The lefty Lazul takes low 1-0. You can't walk him. That puts the tying run on third base. The tying run right now stands on second base. That's in the form of Trent Keys. The winning run's on first base. That's McCann Libby. The pitch to Lazul, foul back to the screen. The Seagull outfield plays Lazul the other way, betting him to be late on the 90-plus mile-per-hour fastballs he's seeing from Robinson. Infield plays straight up. Libby from first, Keys from second, Boardman from third. Bases still loaded for Sonoma, down by 2 here in the 9th. The pitch to Lazul is hit hard but foul late again. Lazul faced Robinson back in the 8th inning. He struck out. You have to try and keep this ball game alive and get it to Brady Shannon in the on-deck circle, or win it yourself. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Stompers. Robinson comes to the set position. Lazul lines it towards short. Gloved by Hodges, he goes the short way to second, and the ball game is over. The Seagulls come to Sonoma and stun the Stompers by the final score of 6-4. Too little, too late for Sonoma in the 9th inning, where they leave them loaded. 6-4, the final. Will be back with the totals in just a moment. Stompers post-game wrap. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli. The Stompers fall to the Seagulls. That puts Sonoma's record at 15-11. The Seagulls improve to 6-18. That's gotta hurt if you're the Stomps. 6-8-2 beats 4-5-2, and Roman, it really was offensive production in the middle 7 innings, just nowhere to be found.
Yeah, the Stompers just unable to piece it together yet again tonight. They got it in the 1st, they got it in the 9th, but you cannot go 7 frames without scoring. We've talked about this time and time again. The offense just seems to fall into these lulls that aren't really explainable. The pitching's been solid. There were a couple bad pitches tonight. One bad pitch last night was the game changer there. You just can't afford to have that little margin of error in games like this.
Stompers have a day off from league play, but they'll play in front of a packed house here at Arnold Field on Independence Day. That's July 4th tomorrow. A 5 o'clock start, which sets us up for a 4 4:50 pregame show back here. The winning pitchers Finn Whalen, Cal Amborn, beg your pardon, takes the loss out of the bullpen. He gave up a 2-run home run to Josh Hansen. Patrick Richardson has a nice inning. Kyle Sayo does some nice mop-up work out of the bullpen. Ryan Sayo and David Howard gave up runs as well. On the other side, Justin Robinson, it wasn't pretty, but he did the job out of the bullpen, Roman.
And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, a 5-walk, 5-out save is not something you're going to see very often. He couldn't always throw strikes, but he got the ground balls when he needed them, and the Stompers gave their best effort in the 9th, but it was just too little too late.
The Stompers entered today. They left the bases loaded 25 times this season. Add 2 more ticks to that tally. 27 times the Stompers have gotten a runner on every base while making the last out of the inning. Justin Robinson, his 2nd save of the season. Cal Amborn in his CCL debut falls to 0-1. A big broadcast tomorrow and a big day. It'll be packed here at Arnold Field, and the grandstand sold out. You can still get tickets, sit out in the left field bleachers at those picnic tables. But if you want to spend 4th of July at home and stay with the Stompers, they take on the Novato Knicks tomorrow. That's a 4:45 pregame show and first pitch at 5 o'clock. For now, the Stompers lose their 2nd consecutive CCL contest and now are even in the season series with San Francisco. 6-4 the final from Arnold Field. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy your 4th of July day, your 4th of July parade, and we hope you join us tomorrow at 4:50. For Roman Raffelli, I'm Karen Costa saying so long from Sonoma.